What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, aka 1/3 of the New Day. You're not gonna say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I am the MVP. I'm Jem.
This is our Raw analysis. This comes to you every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes, except for when we have schedule conflicts like we had this week. Apologies on that. But if you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to facebook.com/thepopculturist, Twitter, Discord, Instagram. All those links are in the description below. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, like a good handful of people are right now, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist. 8 p.m. the night before. So if it goes up Thursday, come hang out on Wednesday. If like our SmackDown show, which goes up on Tuesday, come hang out on Monday. That's how it works. But if you want to support us in a financial way, for some reason you're like, man, that's some good B+ content. Here's some dollary dues. Head over to patreon.com/thepopculturist. Support us at any tier. Currently no rewards. I'm working on it, kind of. And more once-off fashion, popculturist.com/shop. We can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. We also do play other games on Twitch on Thursday nights, which we're doing right after this bad boy. Jem, how are you this Thursday?
It's hot.
It is hot. Well, we had a bit of fuck-up schedule yesterday, so we couldn't get the show together like we originally planned. So we pushed it back a day, which I'm already regretting because it is hot in here. It is so hot in this room because I've got like 2 lights and there's a big-ass window and the sun sets on that side of the room. So it's just hot in here. Yeah. But thankfully, I got a nice haircut. I know you can't see the video, but I got a nice haircut. So my head is cooler, even with the headphones on, so that I appreciate. But how hot is it in your room right now?
Hot. I've only got a little like tabletop fan, and again, same thing. Like sun straight in my window all day. It's super gross, and this is an older house as well. So shout out to Martin in the chat. He's a long-time supporter of ours. He just resubscribed with a tier 1 sub for his 11th month. Thank you very much, Martin. Amazing. Thank you.
Love you very much. And Shadows_Blueberry in the chat. I'm going to call you Shadows. Shadows is in the chat, giving us 2 little purple love hearts. I appreciate the purple.
Love it.
I don't know who you are, but thank you for coming by and thank you for sharing the purple. You're my absolute favorite person already. All right, so let's chat about Raw, Jem.
Yes.
So this is the first Raw post the Royal Rumble. We are officially on the road to WrestleMania. I don't know about you, but that gets me all front area excited.
Yeah, I know it's hot and I am sweating a little bit, but I'm pretty damp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I am so keen for Mania. Like, I don't know what it is. Oh, A, because Mania. But 2, like, I'm already easily excitable. But yeah. I think the pirate theme's kind of doing it for me. Because, like, that logo and when it's hanging across the stadium now, I'm like, holy shit, that looks bitchin'. I want it. That's awesome. And my leave's approved. It's happening. Got my day off. I'm going to have some damn good Mania party times, even if it's by myself.
Hell yeah.
So, was it 69 days at the time of Raw? So it's like what? 67?
10 weeks?
Yeah, 10 weeks, something like that, to WrestleMania. And things are starting off strong. Just get it out of the way. Let's kick off the show with with how they start off the show. So it was announced ahead of the show that we would get a tag team match for the championships, I believe, or with Buddy, Seth, Samoa Joe, and Kev Dog. We all announced that there would be a rematch for the United States champion. Then there was also going to be the confirmation of Charlotte's in Rumble participant pick. And then the same for Brock Lesnar. Oh, wait, spoilers. Drew McIntyre, who, spoilers, picked Brock Lesnar.
Yes, of course he did. I mean, the way he was eyeing Brock Lesnar down at the Royal Rumble, was there any doubt that he'd choose Brock?
Not even a little bit. Like, he had his eyes locked. He's like, this is my goal. I'm going to win that Rumble. I'm taking out Brock. Like, period.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
So he comes out into the ring and he does the big, like, hey, look, it's been a whirlwind, 24 hours. A lot of face stuff, really. A lot of talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
It was really nice, actually. Like, I think the best thing about Drew is because of his stature, because of the way he presents himself, he can turn face but still seem like a gnarly presence.
Yeah,
like
100%.
like Seth Rollins, like once his whole presence has changed now that he is the Messiah, but you can't, like, the face stuff was almost too, like, it was too soft edges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 Yes, he comes out the ring and pretty much goes, look, I ain't piss fighting around. I know exactly who I want. Brock. Done.
Yeah.
Give me Brock. And
100%.
Sure enough, it looks like it's going that way. But instead, he's like, you know what? I'm keen to claim more some people.
Yep. Celebrate with some claymores. We'll have a claymore party, and he issues an open challenge.
Yeah. Now, I did see a sign in the crowd that really made me chuckle. It was, this is Claymore Country, not Suplex City. I was like, fuck yes. I want that as a shirt. Give me that shirt. I'll wear that shirt all day. I think that's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, so he does have an open challenge match, Jem. Mm-hmm. That's where you pick it up and you tell me what happened.
Oh, sorry, you completely cut out there.
Sorry, dude, my fault.
So what happened was the OC come out. So we have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and they're like, we'll fight you. Like, Carl Anderson's like, I'll fight you, and Gallows is like, no, I'll fight you. And then they're like back and forth, and like Drew's like, all right, why don't you both fight me? Bring it on. And it ends up being a 2-on-1, a handicap match, which Drew McIntyre does end up winning, stacking the bodies on each other and pinning them that way, which was beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely cements him as a very, very strong competitor.
Because these are they're the best tag team in the company.
Best tag team in the world.
With a trophy.
Yep. And he took them both out. Absolutely beautiful. And then he does get blindsided by Brock Lesnar, who delivers a vicious F5.
Oh, yeah.
Out of nowhere. So it's definitely on. Brock Lesnar's clearly, he has no choice, but he's accepted the challenge.
Yep. It's going to be a good stretch from now into Mania, man. I can't wait to see this.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think we'll see them have a go at each other before Mania? Like maybe Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, I guess, if they're not doing Stomping Grounds?
I don't think so. I think this is going to be a WrestleMania exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I think somehow Brock is going to duck it and dodge and sort of just get his way out of it until then.
Sorry, self-correction. Stomping Grounds was after Mania 2019. Fastlane still happened, so we'll still be having Fastlane. But yeah, I think keep them separate. Keep it excited.
Yeah.
Let them get up on each other's shit for a little while.
Yeah.
But let us see Brock Lesnar kick some face. Let's see, like Drew also stomps people. But I'm not talking like randos. Like we're not Aleister Black here. Like put some people up against him that can genuinely bring him down. The difficulty is I don't know who that's going to be. Like if you don't want them to touch each other between now and Mania, like who gets in there instead? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Especially because it seems like Brock's, burned his only bridge and his friend of Shelton Benjamin. So
that is true. They were mad at each other. So hang on. So for some reason my notes went away. Oh no, they're gone again. All right, I'm gonna rely on you here.
Do you want me to send them to you again?
No, I've got them. Just I just need to copy them into a different place.
Well, that's you mentioned Aleister Black.
All right, perfect. Let's do that. Let's go straight to Aleister Black. My notes
again. Back. This pisses me off because we know that Raw has a wealth of superstars, and yet Aleister Black is once again back on the jobber train. It shits me, but at the same time, like, Aleister Black said after his match is like, my first mistake was waiting for the fight to come to me. Like, be prepared, Raw roster, because I'm now picking the fight.
And I think that's a good point, and I think that comes from, as you mentioned, him being in that room, requesting people come and talk to him and knock on his door, and that did happen. That gave us this awesome Buddy Murphy feud, but it was that situation of, I sat here for the longest time, and only people that were willing to come talk to me were fucking randos. Like, how can I present myself to be the force I believe I am if no one is fighting me? So, which means now at least his focus has changed to, I'm going to pick out the people within the roster that I want to push I want to go over. Like, I want to wreck these. I want to roll these people over. I want to take it. Mm-hmm. So do you think he'll go low rung? Do you think we'll get like the Zack Ryders, the Kurt Hawkins, or do you think we'll start seeing him pick away in other places?
I am not sure. I think because obviously, like, the only place he can really go would be towards, this, I guess, faction that's forming with Samoa Joe and Joe and Kevin and the Viking Raiders, and like, his competition is on that tier. Like, I think that's where it's going to go.
Well, see, I completely agree with you because, like, after their little confrontation at Rumble, where it kind of they spilled into the crowd and then back out, sort of stuff. Into the ringside, where Buddy was there and Alice was very clearly involved. I thought it would shift to where we would get them involved with Joe and stuff tonight, but instead we didn't get any of that. We got Rando dude. We got a win, which is presumably what would have happened, and then we've got the Kevin and the Samoa Joe team up going for the tag team champions.
Yep. So they were facing Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy for the titles. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think, like, because obviously, like, at the moment it's paired, like, well, in a sense, like, oh no, they're outnumbered at the moment. Never mind.
But there's good.
But there's history between Buddy and Alistair, so I definitely feel like that's sort of where that's going to go.
Yeah, and that's why I think, because if you look at the teams as they stand now, I guess the easiest way to compare them is, like, would you compare AOP to Kevin and Samoa Joe in terms of size and fighting? Like, they just want to wreck stuff, and they've got Alistair Black and Buddy probably matching in that sort of role within the faction. That means there isn't a leader on the Joe side though.
Well, there is, like, I guess KO is essentially the leader, with Joe is his, like, second in charge, because you've got the tag team of the Viking Raiders on there.
Ah, you do. My bad. Thank you.
So yeah, they're outnumbered by one, in the sense of, like, if Alistair Black is going to join that, which means it sounds like Seth Rollins may be looking for another recruit.
It would make sense, because five seems to be the good number, and I think that would make a good call. Yeah.
So I definitely think Alistair Black is going that way, and then somehow Seth is going to finagle something, or someone for Joe.
Yeah, well, let's touch upon that match actually. So we did see a Raw Championship match. Went an interesting way. So there was a dive that Joe took on the outside, took the crap out of Buddy, and then ad break, sure enough, comes back. He's out. Like, he has been medically removed from the match. Yeah. So it does leave KO against Buddy and Seth, which he did keep his own. It was really, really good for him. It is concerning though that Joe got because he looks like he landed on the arm that he broke, and that is a concern. There's been no additional reports of any damage. See,
I thought he landed on his head.
I saw him land hard on his arm.
Concussion. Yeah, nah. I thought it was concussion related because he was grabbing his head pretty viciously afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. This confuses me. Obviously, it's week 2. They've defended their titles. Already. I don't know. It's. I don't know. It feels weird. Like, I don't know. Buddy looks legit now because he has a belt on him. Don't get me wrong. But Buddy's got the pin both weeks in a row. So this, like, I don't know. Like, do you think, like, maybe Buddy's gonna get an ego about himself and eventually turn his back?
It's certainly possible, but I do think it may also be Seth Rollins. Being like, look, you're going to get the pins. You and I, as a team, we'll work together. We'll bring down the competition, but you take it because I need to present you as a force. I need because as you are the quote unquote best kept secret. Yeah. People need to the secret's got to come out. These guys, we know the AOP are gnarly. They don't know that you're gnarly. Do you think that could be the decision there? You think he's possibly willing to give him the go? Yeah, because Seth doesn't need the win.
Yeah, and it's really legitimizing Buddy and what he's capable of too, which I think is awesome.
Big time.
One thing I did absolutely love though was when like Kevin and Joe, like before the match even started, they fully called Seth out, like, where's the AOP, huh? They're gonna jump us, whatever. And Seth's like, no, they're not here, they're backstage. Look, there's the camera, say hi guys. And like Joe's just like, you act like we don't work in a business where this is pre-recorded and you're just showing it to us now. And I love that football break.
That was pretty good.
That was great. And he's like, no, they're in my private locker room, like that's where they are. And Joe's like, you mean to tell me that AOP is in your private locker room? And Seth's like, yes they are. And then next minute the Viking Raiders jump them and there's this big old scuffle. And,
so you told me this isn't pre-recorded. You told me exactly where they are. Thank you very much.
Exactly it. So that was absolutely beautiful as well, because that obviously saves KO and Joe from any issues until obviously Joe was taken out. But yeah, do you think that Joe and KO are building a faction here, or do you think it's just individuals?
I think the groundwork is there. However, they're too hostile. Like,
yeah,
this is I think we pointed this out a couple of weeks ago. Seth Rollins and his disciples, or whatever he decides to call them,
he called them his disciples.
They are a tight team. Like, everyone's there. Everyone knows that Seth is the guy, and they're all behind Seth. Where right now we have a little scuffle between Joe and Kevin already.
Oh, that's true. There is a bit of a power struggle.
You know what I mean? Even that they're like, look, I'm gonna, like, in Rumble, like, I'm gonna, if you try to take me, I'm gonna wreck you. Like, this is not, like, I'm happy to join parties on this, but I'm, like, that's not good. Like, if you're a pack of lone wolves, that is infighting, that is problems. Where, you look at Seth at the Rumble, Buddy was meant to be in that Rumble, yet he wasn't. Let's presume he stepped out and he decided to be by Seth by his side in the Rumble. So rather than have his shot at a WrestleMania match, he decided to go with his team. Compare that to, both Kevin and Samoa Joe. I think maybe even scuffled in the match.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean?
Very briefly.
Like, that's not good. Like, how are you supposed to take on this new team, this new faction, where you can't even stay together yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the problem here. Yeah. So do I think they're making a faction? I think the wheels are in motion to try create a collective to take on Seth, but they just can't right now. And the difficulty is, who else is on the roster willing to do so? Not very many. Just, true. That's the catch.
Yeah.
Excuse me as I yawn real hard. Speaking of, like, I don't know where I was going with that. United States Championship match.
Yes.
Andrade, Humberto, rematch from the kickoff show, because as seems to be the rules, unless you win cleanly, you get there'll be another match. So there was a roll up by Andrade on the kickoff show, almost guaranteeing Humberto another go. What do you think?
Full on. I was not expecting that match to go the way it did. So basically what happens is Humberto's about to get the pin, Zelina Vega jumps in and breaks up, which means a DQ finish, and then Humberto just snaps and starts beating the living shit out of Andrade, rips up the mat like Andrade did to him like a month or two back, and then just drops him on the cement.
Oh yes, that was I did quite like that, a little bit of a throwback to what took Carrillo out for a while.
I was not expecting that from Humberto Carrillo. I did not think he had a mean streak in him like that. I definitely think this shows how much passion he has behind wanting to get that title. Or even just the
personal, focus.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, like, it was really interesting. I think out of all of it, though, my biggest concern is this going to damage the relationship between Zelina and Andrade? Because now Andrade doesn't have his champion's advantage.
That is true. But
so he has to win it clean, or he doesn't win at all.
Yes, that is true. But the difference here is, though, if he was about to lose it, at least he still has it. So yes, he's lost his advantage, but he still has the belt. So that gives him a little bit of time to focus and get that together. Now, removing the kayfabe for a minute, like, we do know that Andrade is suspended. He's got 30 days due to the wellness policy, so we won't be seeing him for at least a couple of weeks. As
hate
well,
them
exactly. At least 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
So interesting, but that would also, by having him face plant the cement, that's got him out for a while. So I presume we won't see either him or Zelina for a little while.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is an advantage. So hang on. Back to kayfabe.
Yeah, that's true, because then we're not going to get sick of seeing this match up constantly. It's going to give us a break from it, which is going to make it fresh and new and exciting.
And that'll give Carrillo a chance to step up and sort of see what else the Raw roster has to offer, and get a bit more practice, get a bit more time. So, granted, we haven't seen him for a little while because he was hurt, but now that he's back, we can he needs to be re-put into the consciousness of everyone that's watching.
Yeah, definitely. But no, that'll be interesting to see once that comes full circle.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm interested to see what the repercussions for Umberto are for doing this, though. Yeah.
Speaking of...
to see how it's going to work with his relationship with Ray and stuff.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Speaking of consciousness, I kind of lost it for a window of time, and part of that was Eric Rowan.
Yeah, no, don't give a shit. Just same old shit. Smashed a jobber, walked away with his cage, nothing special.
That's two jobber matches in the one show.
2 jobber matches in the one show.
Yeah, 3 hours is totally enough. Is more,
And one thing that bums me out about it is they had the Street Profits do a little segment there with Kelly popped in on it.
Hey,
Kelly! Yeah, Kelly. Name so good they said it twice.
Name so nice they say it twice.
Yep, exactly it. That bums me out as well, because you could have easily had even if they're not competing as a tag team, you could have had one of them versing somebody. You could have. I'm shattered that we're not seeing them in more matches. I think they're a phenomenal tag team, and I want to see them do more.
Yeah,
that's true. That basically they're just the interlude.
But if you have a look at every other tag team, whether it be Raw or SmackDown, very rarely they're being split up now. They're being kept as tag teams. So even we haven't seen either of the Street Profits. We haven't seen either just one of the Viking Raiders have a go. We've not seen any of the teams split. They're keeping them together, and that's how it's working. So unless they were two singles put together, say the likes of Buddy and Seth, they keep them tight. And I kind of like that, because it makes you remember that they're always tag teams. Saying that, though, with the drought of tag teams that they currently are, it's this weird situation of, well, by not splitting them, we're not seeing them at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're getting the likes of the Street Profits who just pump out this natural charisma, and then we're having them do little back bits, which all right, and they're entertaining, I suppose, but it's just not what they should be doing. Although having them hit on Kelly, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was great. That was so good. Kelly's great.
One thing that is still garbage though, 24/7 Championship.
Yeah. Look, I like where Mojo Rawley's trying to take it, but it's not going to work.
Yeah. So
I like that he's trying to legitimize it and turn it into a proper title that you actually defend, but that's not how it works. It's just, as you can see, Truth comes running in dressed as a burger from No Way Jose's conga line, and he gets the win. Mojo had some guy there who was supposed to be his
NXT call up.
Yeah, he's his support or his offense or something like that, and the guy just didn't do his job.
So he's gone back to NXT.
Yeah, probably. But no, look, yeah, I don't know. They tried. He tried.
They did try.
Points for trying. But no, it was actually really good to see Mojo Rawley in competition, though, because he is, vicious. That dude threw a punch and it just took off Jose's head. It was great. It was good to see him facing No Way Jose as well, an actual, other superstar.
Yeah, once again, someone that's just not given time, and they're giving him time. Granted, they don't get a lot of time because they just don't seem to care for these people specifically, but they're given a shot, which is cool. Exactly
it. But no, it was mad. It was really cool to see Mojo Rawley kick someone's head off.
That's true. But speaking of someone that seems to be getting a lot of time, a lot of airtime, that is Lana. So we had a one-on-one match with Liv Morgan. However, no Bobby Lashley, no Rusev in sight.
No,
they were kept incredibly separate.
Yep, they were barred from ringside. This was a damn good match. I didn't realize how flexible Lana is. She does an intro where she kicks her leg up on the apron. I was just damn, she flexy. But no, her wrestling has improved a lot. Her and Liv put on one hell of a fight. I still don't know why Liv's involved or how, and I would like to still.
Yep.
But it was a good match. Like, it was a short, fun little thing. It was really good. Liv Morgan does end up taking the win off a flatliner, I believe it's called, which was a brutal little move.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really nice to see Liv take the win too. I think, if they want to make this feud, like, it really just legitimizes, like, Liv, first of all, coming back. And it really sort of, I guess it's going to strike some fear into Lana, realizing that, she's not all that without Bobby.
It's true. Yeah, it kind of puts their relationship into perspective, especially within ring time, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. But no, it was a fun little match.
Yeah, I'll admit I missed this one. I was cooking dinner at the time, and I heard it, but I didn't actually watch it, so I got nothing on that.
I'm actually interested to see where this goes now that Liv has that win over Lana. I'm going to see what crazy it's going to make Lana.
And I think it's important because if we look at this current setup with the whole Rusev Lashley stuff, it was just Rusev taking loss after loss after loss, right? We never had that clearance, so it allowed a hubris to exist within Lana around this. It'd be like, Bobby Lashley and I, we're unstoppable. It's like, no, Lashley's unstoppable. I don't know what you're doing, but Lashley is unstoppable.
Right. Exactly right. Yeah, and speaking of unstoppable, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
So she has a small interview with Charlie. Charlie's basically like, so what's next for Becky? And Becky's like, I've collected on my final debt. It means this time I'm going to start fighting who I want to, not who I feel I need to. Mm-hmm. And then she turns around and her jacket has goat on it. Basically,
and a picture of her as a goat.
Yeah, her as a goat. Basically claiming she's the greatest of all time.
Do you think she was aware that means that? Because Rey Mysterio has goat on his shirt, but doesn't have an actual.
He has Gamote.
Yes, but he doesn't have an actual goat on there.
Yeah.
I thought that funny.
I think Becky's just taking the piss of herself.
I agree with that because it's even like Leo Rush with his moth on his pants, the man of the hour. I'm like, all right, well, why is there a picture of a moth? Look, I'm joking. Becky's great, but it made me chuckle at the time.
But now that she's going to pick who she wants to, who do you think she wants to fight?
Ooh, see, that's the thing. I think the only person that she would really want to give a go is Shayna.
Yeah.
And that's right. Where I see it happening. Now, I'm surprised we didn't see Shayna this week. I thought it was happening. Yeah. She's like, nah, fuck this. I'm in. I can come. Whether it be aiming after Charlotte for being the one that eliminated her, or skipping the line and going straight for the person. It's going straight for the championship. Because I'm pretty confident that we're going to see Shayna v Becky at Mania. Because their feud for Survivor Series completely drowned out Bayley.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think that there's something still there, and I think Becky's definitely going to take up on that.
Big time.
Yeah, which I'm excited to see. Like, bring it on.
Well, as you said, skipping the line and getting ahead of Charlotte. So we did also have Charlotte come into the ring and sort of announce. She's announcing that she's wants to announce.
Going for it. Yeah, she said she's going for a championship, and that's it. She's still deciding on who she's going to face. But yeah, she didn't give anything away, which she does end up getting rudely interrupted by Asuka and Kairi. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Asuka comes out screaming in Japanese with very broken English segments in it.
Hey, sorry, Ghost the Machine's in the chat. Absolute champion. Everyone, go follow Ghost the Machine. Good kid.
And yeah, basically, Asuka basically was like, I could beat you easy peasy, and Charlotte's like, is that a challenge? And then Asuka and Kairi attack her, and it ends up being a match. And a vicious one at that. I am all for Asuka versus Charlotte because those two, fight. They properly fight each other. Mm. They want to hurt one another. But it was absolutely beautiful considering that, Asuka didn't use mist or anything in this match, which was really good. Mm-hmm. It did end with a disqualification where Charlotte had Asuka in the figure eight, and Kairi Sane did jump off with an insane elbow, which we've seen before, and take out Charlotte, and basically just kick into her, and then Charlotte ended up just ripping her apart, and as always, Charlotte just looks so powerful. And she was rocking PopC purple. She looked absolutely amazing.
It's the purple. It's what does it. Speaking of purple, more purple hearts in the chat here from the QA Booze.
Yay. The Caboose.
The Caboose. I'm going the QA Booze.
Caboose. Thank you for joining us. Caboose is the one who shouted us out the other night.
Oh, I'm aware who they are.
Yeah,
they're infamous around the gem.
I love it.
There's a history about it. But so although we got this match with Asuka, you know, and Mad Dog coming through with the host there. Thank you, Mad Dog. So the thing is, as we predicted last week, which you know, I was like, she's going for Rhea Ripley. That's what she's doing. She wants to. She's going to become 2-time NXT champion. You know, be one of the select few that do it. Right?
Yeah.
Reports coming out, like, you know, insiders are like, she wants to fight Rhea. I'm like, yes.
Do it.
Yes. And Ghost in the Machine goes, Charlotte is going to pick Rhea, and I cannot wait to see those two tear shreds off each other. And I completely agree. I'm like. Yeah. I am so glad that, like, you know, I always wonder, like, whether as we sit here and bullshit about the wrestling, I always wonder, like, are the things that I'm saying accurate at all? Am I talking out of my bum? And which I do, and then sometimes it goes well, and I like it. So I'm really happy when I can predict something correctly. And Oppox says hi, and thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it, big time. What absolute champion.
Yeah.
But the other rumor mill has gone around that the Ghost has mentioned in the chat as well would be Rousey, which is interesting.
Ooh.
Look,
that's very interesting.
Granted, doesn't have a championship right now, but there is some good video of her getting involved, watching the Rumble, getting super heated, especially around the idea of Shayna. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe she will then reappear and get that belt back from Becky, and then next thing you know, she's in Mania, and Charlotte's like, can I change my pick?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could see the whole Ronda coming back and, like, you know, that wasn't a clean win, like, give me my title back type thing. Because there was obviously a lot of controversy around Becky's win last year. So that could definitely be a cause for something.
I'm gonna go OP because I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. OP, who's a brand new follower, doesn't mean they jump in and saying, I hate Charlotte. She always gets the push. Well, our good friend Dirt Sheet Dash also agrees.
I love it. No, I absolutely love it. I love that people hate her. I love Charlotte. I love everything about it.
Yeah. It's
probably the one time that everybody hates somebody, and I quite like Jar Jar Binks as well. But that's a different story.
Whoa, that is controversial. That is a controversial opinion right there.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Look, where I stand, I think she is her winning here was the absolute safest bet. And I dislike it for that reason. Like, there was although there is risk with Drew McIntyre, I think it's a safer risk. But why Charlotte? Like, why not Shayna? Like, if you want to give NXT a rub, holy shit, give them a rub.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm excited to see if she does pick Rhea and where it goes.
Yeah. So the caboose says, "Khan the Jar Jar."
Khan the Jar Jar. But yeah. Yeah,
so look, I'm okay with her. I think she's good at her job. That's unquestionable. I do think it's good that you know there can be other women involved. However, there's also only so
more
much
controversy here. Sorry, Becky, but I reckon Charlotte's the GOAT. Just saying.
Well, she has the 10-time champ, so she goes that on her, I suppose.
Exactly it.
Go says she's the female Miz to the company and the daughter of a legend. It's the perfect mix. And she will be 100% be a Hall of Famer, unquestionably. And he agrees that Charlotte is the GOAT.
I'm glad somebody does.
Yeah. She works her ass off, and not just in the ring. She does all the media appearances, meet and greets, etc. She even took the time here in Melbourne, where she sat down at EB Games for like 4 hours and signed stuff. Like, she was here a long time.
Oh yeah.
You know. Mind you, we didn't get to see her. We were off interviewing Kofi Kingston. But other than that, it's pretty sweet.
Check it out. We have a video.
It's on the YouTube channel. The link's in the description, I believe, which is exciting.
But let's bring it to, I guess, the biggest part of the night, I guess, with the returns. So one more insignificant than the other. We did have the return of MVP and the return of Edge. Now, I'm a bit bummed out about this because MVP's return has been made super, super insignificant over the return of Edge. all night. They're just pumping Edge non-stop, like videos from previous Rumbles and Edge returns tonight and footage from the Royal Rumble event, Edge entering like every minute they could, and MVP gets his ass kicked by Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but saying that though, the crowd also gave no shits. He walks out and he's like, and the crowd's dead. It's fucking dead, man. Like you could almost hear a kid
MVP.
You could almost hear some kid in the crowd being like, "Daddy, who's that man?" Like it was fucking quiet.
I'll give him credit. Like he looked mad in his Punisher outfit.
That's true. And OP goes, "MVP who?"
Yeah.
Exactly. True, and Ghost does his appearance in the Rumble was also leaked, so the novelty of him coming back was kind of lost there.
Oh,
and I
really?
think
I didn't know that.
and like although Edge was heavily rumored, the fact that he denied allowed for a bigger surprise.
I told you Edward would be there, especially when Beth Phoenix came out. I was like, "Oh, Edge is in the men's."
Yeah, but that's like that was like an hour before it happened. It wasn't like it's a week
I've been
before.
saying for weeks, like Edge is bullshitting out his ass. He's totally gonna be there.
Yeah.
He was like bullshitting too hard that you could tell he was lying.
Yeah, but he bullshit like a day before.
But granted, like this, when Edge came out and he started talking to the crowd about, you know, being the type that like if he has a what if, he has to fix it.
Yeah, he talked about how it's been 9 years away, but he's home. Man, I love it when I know it's pandering, but I fucking every time someone comes back from return, they talk about it being home, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, it makes me feel gooey.
Yeah, and the fact the crowd was chanting "Welcome Home" and stuff like that was huge.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and I was going to say, not just that, like, you could see him welling up, and I was welling up with him, especially when he talks about going and getting the second neck surgery that he had to make sure that he could, you know, get back in the ring and be medically cleared. And then he goes on about, like, you know, I hope you guys come on this ride with me. And I was just like, holy shit, he's staying. And I was weeping. I was so excited. Because, yeah, it's freaking Edge, man. And he's in the best shape of his life. Holy crap.
Yeah, 46-year-old looking ripped. I'm going to look garbage at 40. I look garbage at 30. I'm going to look horrible at 46. Ghost the Machine comments on my mention of when I feel gooey when they say home. He goes, just like The Rock did, ? And how we said he would never leave again, ?
Lol.
Like,
Lol.
well, yeah.
One thing I did love about all that, though, is Randy Orton does come out.
But before we jump into the whole Randy Edge thing, because it's beautiful, OP once mentioned in the chat the 619 botch. So where MVP just gets up and then takes a 619 to the lower back. I guess it's a new way to do it, I suppose, but what are you doing, mate? Once again, like as I said, we mark out in this show so that we have our own kayfabe. Let's take that away for a second. What the fuck are you doing, MVP? Like,
that's true.
you should know how to sell a 619. 100%.
Exactly right.
Unless there was an intentional decision. But Ghost, it says it's the 916. It's what happens. So six is when you're lying down, the 9's when you're standing up. I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's weird call. Like it whether it was intentional or not, it looks weird because of what we're used to seeing the 619 do. All right, kayfabe back. But yes, Randy Orton makes his way into the ring. After this little beautiful spiel, beautiful promo from Edge.
He hugs Edge and Edge starts crying and I start crying even harder. And then he's like, you know, welcome home, and I'm like,
yeah, I was eating dinner while I was watching this segment, like just cry, like, you know, like a couple of tears dropped into my carbonara. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was ugly crying. Proper ugly crying. What are you laughing at?
You're laughing at you, like, you know, had an ugly cry, like a man, you're going,
Yeah, I was full sitting there like, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. And then I went back and watched his retirement speech and cried even harder. Sometimes you just gotta cry.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get it out. You gotta get it out.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, Edge basically, he goes on about how he wants to compete on his terms. He wants to end his career on his terms. You know, he doesn't know how long he's got, but he's going to try his hardest. And Randy's like, you know, you talk about what ifs. What if we, you know, got Rated RKO back together? and everybody's like yes chanting, and like Edge had yes chants earlier, and it's like, that's amazing. Like that's my first yes chant. I've got Daniel Bryan to thank for that. That was sweet. But then out of nowhere, Randy just turns around and fucking RKO's Edge. Out of nowhere, and I was like, oh.
It was
I saw this coming
awesome,
at
man.
the Rumble.
Like I
saw it coming at the Rumble. As soon as Edge threw Randy out, I was like, oh, there's something going to be here. Like, holy crap. And now it is, like...
So we mentioned that on the Rumble review, which you can see on this Twitch channel, as YouTube channel, as well as your podcast services. We were like, could this be something? And it looks like it can be. But what I loved about this the most is there was that moment of like, let's bring Rated RKO back. And I'm like, are they going to just like fuck up Seth Rollins?
So was I. I was the same. I was like, holy shit, we need more tag teams. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's like, this is a safe way for him to do it. Like, yes, he's better, but there's, he's just signed a 3-year contract. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Like, why not have him run in a program that's like kind of safe-ish, right? And Randy's not doing a whole bunch right now. Fucking decimate the tag division. Holy shit.
Right.
Like, imagine like Seth thinking he's all hot shit. Next thing, Edge comes out and spears the prick. Like, love it.
But at the same time, like, for me, this comes back full circle to what Randy Orton used to be. Don't know if you know this, but Randy Orton is also known as the Legend Killer.
Oh, he's a fucker. Yeah, he's a fuck.
And I definitely believe that Edge is legend status now, which means is Randy looking for another victim.
I'd say so, because like, what was interesting here is watching how Randy approached this. Like you can tell he made the decision in his head that 1 second, goes the RKO, which is concerning knowing that Reg's neck is jacked. See him drop, and then it's almost like you can see the pain and the torment within Randy. And it was almost like,
and then when he wraps the chair around Edge's head,
to use a bad example, the way he's holding him, and like although he's putting him in the chair, and it's,
I swear he kisses him on the head.
He does.
It
is this
very conflicting.
Is his situation? It's almost like he's about to put like his fucking dog down. You know what I mean? He's like, look, I gotta take you out. I'm so sorry. You know, because there are a couple times where he sits there, he's like, look, it's all right, mate. It's all right. I'm like, are you gonna kill him? Like, are you about to put down your friend? Is that the thing? And like,
it definitely felt like that.
And it's like, I have to do this. I can't not do this. And then we tend to see that conflict. Like, puts his head in the chair, gets up on the ropes. He's like, is he gonna like stomp this dude's face in? In the chat as well, Mad Dog mentioned that he was expecting for him to punt him. Yeah. Because we haven't seen that in a while, which is gnarly. Stephen Player, also who had Edge in his Rumble pick.
I love it.
He goes, reminds me of the fake DX reunion when HBK came back.
Yeah.
And then Ghost also adds, it's a beautiful thing when Randy gives a shit. The dude is phenomenal when he wants to be. But nobody phones it in as hard as the man if he does not care. That is very, very true. But yeah, so look, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And then it did end with a big old chair shot safely. But I loved it. Yeah. Like, I was gripped. I was like, I stopped eating my delicious carbonara, and I was like...
Yeah, I was glued. Absolutely glued.
And I can tell everyone in the crowd was as well. Mm-hmm. Like they were also in shock and silence, but different to the MVP shock and silence, because that was... Yeah, it was we don't know who you are. Fear for Edge. Compared to, this one. But then the crowd starts getting... I'm hella excited for this, though. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a big old WrestleMania match. Oh, Give it to me. Give it to me. Because part of me was concerned when Edge is like, I want to retire on my own terms. I'm like, Mania cannot be a retirement match. You've got 3 years on your deal, dude. Like, don't give me now and then. Oh, we've lost you, Jem. You'll come back in a second.
Oh, no.
The video always drops out, but the audio stays. But yeah, like I can't have this be a retirement match. Like, it's way too soon. And you got a big deal unless there's some backstage work planned or something. But
nah, I don't think Mania will be his retirement. I think it'll be the start of an amazing couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll 100% go over. Yeah. Which will be brilliant. Ghost says, I can also see Christian coming back for an official retirement program with Edge too.
That would be amazing.
So so they both go down?
Panels and stuff. So
Oh, he goes Edge versus Christian. Loser retires would be a super interesting setup. A program.
That would be.
Oh,
Jeez.
holy crap. Would that be absolutely astounding?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm all for that. Bring it on.
Because Christian never officially retired, right?
He did not.
Ooh. But isn't he all fucked up too?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he's just as fucked up. Oh, maybe not just as fucked up, but my understanding is he's also severely injured. And like he may not be able to wrestle again.
Idea.
But
Interesting.
well, and see. So that'd be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah,
But I believe that's everything. Have we covered everything?
we have.
Fantastic. What an absolutely killer episode of Raw, might I add.
Yeah.
Aside from the middle part where I kind of get a little bit bored and I kind of like the way they front ended it and back ended it. No complaints.
Beautiful. Yeah, they're doing really good with that lately.
Look, they're getting better. Like the difficult part is the middle part seems to be a little bit waffly, which comes to expect for a 3 hour sit is so long.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you basically need that break. But yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it'd be. If they made it 2 hours, it'd actually be so much better. But, in the chat, OP does also mention that Raw is getting good for now. And I think they totally are. I think they've got the right idea. They've got some factions forming because people love factions, man. Like, look at the competition. Look at AEW. Like, they've got the elite and then they've got the inner circle. Like, right now, factions they've always been a thing, but they've been gone for so long. It's good to have them back. Having legends come back is always huge, of course, especially lead up to Mania, because this is where presumably Raw should have its biggest numbers.
Yes.
And the involvement of SmackDown is awesome. Involvement of NXT is awesome. Hope we can see more of that as we head into
solidifying them as the third brand.
Exactly. Like making them legit.
Yeah.
Because having them involved as SmackDown, as involved as Raw in Mania would be absolutely astounding.
Awesome.
But Ghost Machine goes, Heyman's influence on Raw is very heavy, in a good way, which is awesome. He goes, while SmackDown still has that McMahon stank.
That's true.
Which I'd agree with 100%. I think that comes from Bruce Pritchard being involved.
Yeah.
Because I think how Pritchard delivers and how Heyman delivers completely different, and I think we're now seeing that. Like we had an issue with like Bischoff, obviously. Hey, back.
Yeah. Yay!
So we had
finally.
so we had Bischoff, sort of do absolutely nothing, just meander about for a while.
Yeah.
So at least now we're starting to see what this role should have been and how even worse Bischoff did with it. Because if you think about it, we should wrap up the show in a minute because I have to go stream some games in 6 minutes, but I have to have a break because I'm fucking hot. I need to get the console. But what we were promised Fox was going to deliver with SmackDown really hasn't come ahead.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, yes, it looks better with the cool set and the pyro and the AR. Like, it looks cool. Visually, it looks fantastic. But
you can roll a turd in glitter, but you can't polish it.
Exactly, and there's still problems that they're facing internally, and that just comes across in what they're bringing. Because even something like The Fiend is kind of losing its oomph, and it should be it is kind of still, but not really. It should be the hottest thing WWE has to offer.
Yeah.
In the chat, which is one more thing, we keep talking to this chat all night, I think. What do you think will be the next person to join the Monday Night Messiah? Ghost. That was a question from Mad Dog, where Ghost thinks it should be a female.
I agree. Every faction needs a female.
It's true. Who's a nice, vicious female though?
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky.
Because, in terms of heel women, there's not that many.
Yeah, exactly it. Unless, Nia Jax returns to it.
But then you got three. But that'll put 3 big units in the one team.
That's true.
But saying that though, that would also be awesome. Matt Ruby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be rad. Would be rad.
Ghost says Liv.
Yeah, maybe.
I think Liv's got the attire for it. They all wear black. She's rocking nothing but black.
Yeah.
Bring her in.
Yeah, maybe Lana will best her and Seth will take her on.
Or maybe they'll come in like, hey, you returned and it's been disappointing. Let's come with me and I'll show you what you should be.
Look, I gave Buddy a title. Let me give you something too.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, Ghost. Yeah. Oh.
That's awesome.
All right. That has been our Monday Night Raw analysis coming to you on a Friday because we had some scheduling. So thank you very much, everyone, especially if you've made it all this way through the show. Muchly appreciated. This Raw conversation comes to you every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to facebook.com/groups/thepopculturist. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all those links are in the description below. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, just like Ghost has, just like OP has, just like Mad Dog has, just like Martin has, just like Caboose has, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist. Give us a follow, and where you can see us record this show live. It is damn good fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If you want to if for any reason you think this B+ content is stellar, head over to patreon.com/thepopculturist. Support us at any dollar value. You don't really get any rewards right now because watching it live used to be one, but we're like, nah, everyone gets this because it's awesome-ish. If you want to support us in a more one-stop fashion, head over to popculturist.com/shop where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Bunch of wrestling-themed designs on there. We are due some new ones. We are working on it. Let me promise you that. And as I said, Twitch for game streaming Thursdays, normally at 8 p.m., which is like 2 minutes from now. So we did a nice work of getting this done within the hour. Well done, Jem. You're absolute champion.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much. I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Jem.
And we'll see you next week. The Young and the Restless, the Pop Culturist WWE podcast, is fan support over at Patreon at patreon.com/thepopculturist. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders: Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers: AJ Abatomi, Damian Holdies, Kyle Dunn, Lee Wintershoven, Nathan Massetti, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.